Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Well, you know what? I wonder. I know throughout the video you're gonna be like, man, why is this guy keep talking about this freaking part? But why does this cost $1,200? Let's talk about it. If you haven't seen my last video, when I picked up the truck, I'm gonna link it. But let's just to recap, on that video we were having issues with putting up these windows up and down. That one we actually got repaired because it is now working. I guess the mechanism was stuck or whatever, right? This one was always an issue. By the way, before we get started, shout out to my boy Vic. Vic is a good friend of mine, a really old friend. He is older than me, but anyway, he went to go here for SEMA, and I'm sorry, Vic, man. I know it's a long coming, man. I'm shouting you out right now. I know he's watching this. I don't think he cares, but he's a good friend of mine. So he's longtime friend of mine. He's a military buddy of mine back in Korea. Man, he was my sergeant, and I was a private, man. Old Korea, Vic. Old Korea. But anyway, he came out here and he went to go check out SEMA, and you know, we connect a little bit, man. I miss that dude, man. Like it's just one of those things, you know. You haven't seen somebody in such a long time. I would say over 20 years, right, Vic? Yeah, over 20 years since the last time I seen him, and man, that boy still looked the same. He still looked the same, act the same. He hasn't changed at all. This part is an OEM part, and I can only find it in OEM, or you can find it used on eBay. But this part costs $1,200 stinking brand new. Let's take it to the studio. Why it costs that much? Okay, so let us dissect this piece. This is the left side control, which obviously control your, you switch it there, controls the window, your heated mirror, you switch it there, control the right mirror, and this is your up and down for your windows, also left and right for unlock and locked, basic stuff. To disassemble this thing, you have to make sure that I've already disassembled this myself, so you have to take this one out first, okay? You just gotta finesse it out of there. Just get you one of these tools, Hyper Tough. You know, where did I get this from? I might have gotten this from Home Depot. It's basically electronics tools, and it will allow you to get in there. A lot of your basic mechanic regular tools, it's not gonna allow you to get in there. So you take these bolts out. There's gonna be 6 of these bolts. So those bolts hold this little plate right here. Okay, it's actually a lot harder to take out than that. Like I said, I've already taken it off, and then this plate comes right up, right? It moves up just like so, and then this chip right here will move up. And you have to keep in mind that those two are attached together, and you would pull them up together just like so. And this is what the problem was, is these little things right here. These little things. This little piece of thing. This is what connects with this part right here to complete that circuit. So when you give it a command, like the manual command from the outside, then it starts pressing one of these, and then it will send that command to the chip, and it will power up whatever it is that it's doing. For this instance, it will be one of the windows. Okay, so what I want to talk about is this whole assembly is $1,200 for the whole thing. You can get it used for $400. $1,200 for the whole thing. I'm quite certain that the problem we're having with our window is this little pieces. I'm quite certain that these pieces were not on there properly, therefore it was not completing the circuit. This little plastic thing, it's a little plastic thing, that's all. That is what that's what's commanding it to complete the circuit. So why am I so bent out of shape about this part? Well, I mean, for one, it's $1,200. For two, is that it got little plastic that's holding the doggone thing to operate it. And third is like they have it right there at the door, like it's not sealed. This thing is not sealed, so any moisture that gets in there, and you know, as a matter of fact, if it gets wet at the board, it could easily fry the circuit. You know, it's crazy, right? I mean, like it almost like they want you to go there and spend money. Wow. That's probably what they do. Anyway, if a mechanic is too lazy to open this thing and just like, I mean, make sure it's making contact, then you're $1,200 down. You know, it's crazy. We just saved $1,200 plus tax. How much is that? $1,400? I know you're watching this, you're going like, damn, man, this guy's all over the damn place. I am. Really. It's daylight and it's morning and all of these other stuff, right? Coming from the studio. Anyway, we got the truck, so after we open this up, let's plug it in and see what it does. These flanges, I actually like this design because these work very well, and when you put it in there going down the road, it doesn't bounce at all. Okay, here you go, moment of truth. Let's see. I hate that annoying sound. It's so stinking annoying. That's the speaker right there. It's for the stinking lane departure. Okay, here we go. Look at that. Imagine that. Okay, went down. We were having a lot of issues with going back up. Try it again, just in case we just got lucky. Oh goodness, imagine that. Works perfectly to me. You know, that just saved me $1,200. Just saved myself $1,200. The reason why I keep, you know, I sound like a broken record by doing this is just that if you were an owner operator, you brought this to the shop, you were having an issue with the window, and you bring it to the shop, and then they diagnose it and found that this is the problem, the switch is the problem. Well, if you don't have a really good mechanic working on that, they would not even bother opening that up. They would just be like, okay, that'll be $1,200, right? When you know damn well from the video at the studio that it could easily be those little plastic things. And that, my friend, is one of the reasons why trucking industry is really tough. And that is also one of the reasons why I say you always make sure you're able to turn wrenches. If you're gonna be an owner operator, you have to be able to turn wrenches on this. Not only the wrenches part, you gotta be able to think critically while troubleshooting things. You know what I mean? You got to learn that trade. I mean, I know I get the advantage, and I get to. I've done this before. I've been here before. You know, I used to do this. I used to troubleshoot stuff. You know, and I get that advantage, and I think that's one of the reasons why I think, for me in particular, that the trucking industry will be profitable, and we're gonna flourish through this because of that trait. You know, this right here, right? I started working on the truck at where I had it parked. Oh, by the way, we found us a parking. This right here is the dirt lot. This is like our little area right here. They don't mind us working on it over here. And like I said, it's a dirt lot, and you know what? It'll do for now. It costs $255 a month to park this vehicle here. There's a guard. It's all fenced in. There's a guard at the entrance. So I mean, I went through here early in the morning, and you know, they didn't seem to care, but this morning I went through here at 6 o'clock. They seemed to care a little bit more. So anyway, I moved it. I was gonna fix this over there at where it was at, and I started working on it, and freaking I broke loose a couple of bolts. They put it too tight. What I think is happening here is like this spindle right here, the edges of the spindle might be damaged, so they put a bunch of silicone on there when they put it last time they put it, and then they over torqued that son of a gun on there. So I'm gonna try to recover it, but if not, it's okay, because that'll be I believe this is average about, I looked up the part number, it's gonna be about $200 for this spindle or hub assembly. Just the hub part, just the casing. I think that's the only issue we're gonna have here is the casing, so that's okay. I'm not too worried about that. And that's what I mean about these unexpected expenditures you're just gonna be running into in trucking. You know, it's like I've been meaning to do some work on the truck. Like I can't. You know, it put me at a stop. That's why I started working on the window, because if I don't progress, or if I'm doing something and I'm not making any progress, it demotivates me. I lose motivation, and I'm like, man, why am I even doing this, you know? But that's why I moved on to the window. Anyway, that's all the work that we've done to the truck so far, which isn't a whole lot. We still got a lot of work to do on the truck, but man, I got all the paperwork ready to get the authority back up. That's another thing that we're gonna talk about. Man, let me tell you, there's a lot of work in trucking. So anyway, Christmas is coming up. I don't think I'll be working, or I'll be putting out another video on about the truck or on the truck. So I think I'm just gonna close it out as saying Merry Christmas to y'all, and we'll see y'all in the next video.